Hello and welcome out to another Insights. We'll do here in this, I'll make this relatively short, but we'll be doing just a quick market overview and looking at the big guys and what they've done. And then I'm going to do a separate video for the little guys. With this cough, especially, I think that may be easier and it will be a smaller bite, so I think it'll work. But starting off like usual with a quote. Just hit when this one hit me today especially after the mashup this morning. Got off into kind of into the weeds, but I think it was relevant and it was good, and a lot of people seem to really like the stuff that we talked about there. So, just getting really into some, the psychological side, and that is the challenging part of trading, right? So, but I love this quote: "In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than the fear of failure." And nowhere do we experience more fear than in the market, right? I mean, it brings about fear in multiple different ways. And in order to really truly want to get to a certain destination, you have to want it. You have to have a bright vision and an idea of what your life's going to look like once you get past those failures. Because the path to success is littered with failure, right? And so you've got to, in fact, I saw a quote, and I've seen it multiple times, but it says if you want to have success faster, double your rate of failure. I mean, that's how we learn, right? We make mistakes, we screw up, we take it, we learn from it, we move on. So you probably hear the dogs in the background; they're kind of going crazy. But anyway, just looking at looking at a quick market. The S&P did sell off this morning between 8 and 9 o'clock. It was dancing around that 2,000 mark, and then in the afternoon it took off and accelerated, and about a big chunk of it, probably 15 or 20 of those points came in just a few minutes. And it closed up. I mean, it rallied up just a tiny bit, but we broke the 2,000 mark. We've made a new closing low. We had an acceleration of volume, not by a huge amount, but a pretty decent amount. And we're below the 2,000 mark by a big enough chunk that I'm pretty comfortable with bearish positions now. I can pretty confidently say that we are probably going to move lower from here. I think the odds are higher. They're better than 50-50 of going lower than they are of going higher. Just looking through quickly at the other markets, basically the same. Big gap on the NASDAQ. Dow off 250. Not as much volume. I mean, just an average day of volume. So transports got beat up pretty good. But that's been the standard here lately. So they are continuing to drop pretty significantly. Even though, and the funny thing is, oil got beat up real bad today too. It was down 2.5–3% when I saw last. So Russell is challenging that 1,000 mark, or it's 1,100, I guess. But we've got a little bit of support there, and it's holding it as of right now. But wouldn't be surprised to see it drop off. And then the VIX, VIX wasn't really up a lot, which was interesting. Considering the size of the drop and the acceleration of the drop in the afternoon, and the fact that we broke a major level, VIX was barely up, really. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to gauge. I mean, it's always hard to gauge. You never know with the VIX because it's kind of all over the map. But you would think with today's drop it would be up a little bit more than this, at least maybe a couple points. But maybe people aren't that scared of this yet. Maybe it's not really, the fear is not that significant. So we will see. So looking through briefly through the big guys, AAP gap down this morning, triggered an entry yesterday, but then gap down this morning. The volume is still pretty light, so a little skittish on that. Apple triggered an entry point today, but left a little doji there. Hard to say. I mean, this, you can see that it's dropped off quite a bit. You look at the last 3 or 4 weeks, it was 120, it's down at 100, and it's sitting right at that $100 mark. So a 20-point drop in 3 or 4 weeks is pretty significant. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sideways move or a bounce from here. Of course, we never know, right? I mean, I have to say that because it could very easily just tank tomorrow and accelerate the move to the downside, which in some ways I think may happen. But odds-wise, the odds are better that either sideways or a bounce to the upside would happen in the next day or two. AGN, love the looks of this. It gapped down, and let me move that 2270 out of the way, and there's that jumpy stuff going again. Gap down, it's sitting right at the entry point. Little tiny bit of an increase in volume, but not much. So a little skittish on that because a break of a neckline like this without a lot of volume isn't necessarily that exciting. If it had a lot of volume and it broke in a big way, that'd be different, but it didn't. So BPL, I love the looks of this. This is one that I liked, even though I'm not, I'm more of a breakout trader. I prefer those, but this is one that now we've got kind of a hangman, evening star type of pattern. Not a ton of volume, but definitely a good bearish move. And the fact that we are dropping off a pretty decent amount, I mean, $3 on a $65 stock is a big move. So I like the looks of this. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I just hope a lot of these don't gap down tomorrow. I kind of hope they're all just kind of stagnant and go sideways, or maybe a little push to the upside. Delphi, big gap. Again, this is one that I look at and say, it was down. Hold on. Get the dogs to be quiet. They're going crazy here. So, but this is one that I was concerned about because they had dropped off already for 4 days in a row, a pretty decent amount. I mean, 6-7 points, and dropping again is not likely, right? But it did. It gapped down and it stayed down. Double the average volume, more than double. So who knows what's going to happen? Again, just like with Apple, the odds are, after this kind of move, the odds are you're going to get a bounce, but it could just continue. So Dollar Tree was looking for a move to the downside, and it is actually, it's okay right now. This move is decent. Sorry about the interruptions and the noise. I don't think I ever announced that officially, but got a couple little dogs, so they're puppies still. So they are playing and having fun, and sometimes they get loud and obnoxious. This is the first time I've had to experience that and try to make them quiet. I'm going to go lock them up if they don't behave. But anyway, so Dollar Tree, not Delphi. Shut that down. I want to make sure it's recording there. Dollar Tree. Interestingly enough, actually, this is one of those that I've been kind of on the fence with. We've got a nice downtrend, but Dollar Tree and these types of companies, Walmart, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar stores, the inexpensive places have a business model that, generally speaking, in a weak economy will do well. So if the economy is getting weaker, which there are indications that it is, then Dollar Tree and these other ones and Walmart and the like will possibly do okay. They may even thrive. So it just depends. But, we've got kind of a flag type of pattern. There's a breakout there. So this could be one we need to flip over and look at as a bullish candidate. General Mills. And yes, the puppies are part of the reason for doing smaller increments, trying to. General Mills is breaking down, doing exactly what we want it to. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, lock one of them up. Now I don't have to worry about it. Now I can finish. General Mills looking pretty good, actually. I love this. It's a little bit below the entry point. Kind of wish I'd pulled the trigger on it today, but then again, we'll see what tomorrow brings. So it may give us another opportunity. It may or may not. We don't know. It's 50-50 shot. So HCA, still waiting for it to break down. Lululemon, looking just right. Nice little pullback, what we were looking for. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. So Northrop dropped off a pretty decent chunk today. This was one of those that I don't remember if I showed it or not, but entered a paper trade on it, and it was 29th, 30th, 31st, somewhere in there. One of those 3 days, I don't remember. And then it dropped off, and it even though, and I talked about this morning in the mashup, even though it went below, because I didn't take a big position, because in the big scheme of things, I'm not bullish on the market. So even with Northrop, aerospace defense, and the pattern, everything looks good, I took a smaller position than normal because of the possible risk to the downside, the possible move that we've had in the market. And so a lot of times when I do that, if we barely miss the stop like we did on this day, let me zoom in here. On this day right here, it barely closed below the stop. It was, 30 cents or something? And 35, 935 close 88, 81, so 50 cents or so. There's times where if I've taken a smaller position so I have less risk, I will hang on a little longer. That's why I love trading like that, taking just a small position, because then I can be more relaxed about it. I don't have to worry about it. I'm not freaking out. Yeah, it's a little 50 cents below my stop, but okay, let's give it one more day. It gaps down. Now I'm not that happy. Now I'm wishing I would have gotten out. But you know what? Wait till the end of the day, because usually when it gaps like this is what happens. And sure enough, it closed right at that line, the trend line. So I thought, okay, let's see one more. And then of course yesterday it took off and rallied up almost 5 points. I was ecstatic. I'm like, sweet, I'm glad I held on. And yeah, it's a small position, but at least I have an opportunity now to make some coin. This morning, of course, it gaps down, rallies back up, and then it drops back off. And I don't remember where it was. I think it was about 190, 150 or so. And I looked at it, and the bid was 10 cents higher than what I had paid for them. And there was a 30 or 40 cent spread. So I threw it 20 cents above. So, but you know what? I'm just going to take it. With the conditions of the market, everything else that's going on, I'm just going to take a 20-cent profit on this. Basically, it's break even, essentially. You know what? Let's just get out of it because it looks bearish. Looks like things are going to turn. And I'll just get my money back and wait for the other bearish trades to hopefully develop. We had a couple other bearish trades. I had 3 bullish trades, 2 bearish trades, paper trades, of course. And took out the bullish trades. That one break even. The other ones took a small hit. And then we still got 2 bearish trades on. So Prudential gap down this morning. Never even gave an entry point. So not much we can do with that unless it comes back. Same thing here with Royal Caribbean. Unless you got in yesterday, of course. But and then you probably were decently happy this morning. Or to close even. And the last one, Stanley Decker, gap down this morning. Rally back up. So unless you were in yesterday, not much to do there. But actually, there's a couple of great examples here, and I'm hoping to get the bonus thing done tonight. I know it's crazy. I can't believe sometimes how busy things get. But I will work on that, get it done in the next day or two for sure. So we will see you all very, very soon. You all take care, and we'll be back shortly with the little guys and hopefully the bonus tonight. All right, bye-bye.